Yag ayik satini yuhan. Gunal cheese hadi adi. Nila toga aya. Kashak sani ki. Good to see you folks. Thank you for coming here. Nila Toga logging in here with Shakstani Geek. Today's week 4, day 2, November 3rd. And have a fun day for you today during your lunch hour. We'll open up as usual with comments and questions. We'll do some pronunciation review after that. And then today will be a little bit of a hands-on dialogue practice. So we'll demonstrate the dialogue for you so far, including the 2 new lines in our knock-knock conversation. And then we'll turn you loose. Today we'll do breakout rooms for about 20 minutes. And we're gonna try to float between the rooms and give as many people help as we're able. So first off, for our discussion, what questions do folks have so far around any of the content from class or other questions that have come up in your language study? Feel free to use the chat. You can use the raise hand function. You can unmute your mic and ask away. How did it go with your homework? Were folks able to make progress on their introductions, their self-introductions? Seeing some head nods. All right, well, if we don't have any questions, we will roll right into our pronunciation review. So the first sound we wanted to practice, did you have anything to add?
No.
Okay. The first sound we wanted to practice in review is the voiceless L. And so just a reminder for folks, when you say gunashchish, make sure that we can hear that voiceless L. And to make that sound, you're gonna put your tip of your tongue in the back of your teeth, just like you do when you pronounce a voiced L, like you hear in English. So everybody say L. That's cool. I can see that you're staying unmuted. That's fine since we're a large group. This time, put your tongue in that same spot in the back of your teeth, but this time instead of activating your voice, you're just gonna blow the sound out. So you guys can unmute this time and just say, okay. So let us hear you say, Gonashchish.
Gunashchish.
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 Sounds good. Yeah, keep that in mind. And I think I said it before that it's a word that everybody should be familiar with. If the people choose to come and live among us, they should know that word. So say it to everybody and then quickly say, I'm saying thank you, because they wouldn't know what you're saying, but they should become familiar with the sound and the word. So I think that's kind of an assignment you can try if you're brave enough to try it on other people. Bus drivers learn that real fast. You say it to them. So the other letters I've been thinking about that you will get introduced to really soon. I think you already have in regards to talking about your your self-introduction. Because it starts out right away with a DL letter. And there's only a few. There's DL and TL and TS. And the way to handle that is to just say all the letters. You learn to say late. So you say the D and the L, late. Late, enough. And then in the knock knock, we're going to be doing slash TLEL. So you just practice the voiceless L, and there's a TLEL slash. So that's a negative word. So when you hear it, you know it's something negative. TS, we don't have an ST. People get confused. So, and that's confusing to us as Lingit people that to do ST, we end up with SD, with a D. But TS is, you say the T and the S. Tsu. Tsu. You learn that from Tsu, Ye Class T. Tsu, Ye Class T. So the other letters that are that I need to keep working on is the pinch letters. And somebody asked, what kind of marking do you put on a pinch? It's an apostrophe, but we don't call it an apostrophe. We call it a pinch. So if you don't have that in your notes, you should put it there now to say, to write a pinched letter. Make sure you put an apostrophe. So as those get harder by having a pinch and an underline, and you already have that because of you underline the X and pinch it at the same time. So you end up with the whole thing in your mouth, but in the back of your tongue. So that's a really difficult one. A T pinched is a click, just when you talk about king salmon, that's a wonderful sound to me.
Yeah.
As talking about king salmon.
Mm-hmm.
If you see a pinch on an S, close your teeth on that one, because it sounds almost like a Z. Trying to think of an example. But it's quite an easy one to do on the S. If it's pinched, you just close your teeth on it and it comes out right. The other one that's harder is a pinched L. We just had you do the voiceless, but if it's pinched, there's a sound, a squeaky sound. You see it pinched, it becomes and you still have the tip of your tongue behind your teeth, and out of the side of the mouth, you do the like a brand new blanket is called a e.
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 That was my mom's name. Hindu,
Oh.
owner of new blankets.
Oh.
Yeah.
E.
E is a new blanket. E-L-S, I think that's there's a pinched CH. That's a combination. And on that one, you go close your teeth on that one and say in English, close your teeth on it, and it's a sound you squeeze out between your teeth. Yeah. Your throat muscles will get stronger. I had students that say, every time I finish this class, I have a sore throat. I said, that's good. That was a good sign that you're trying. So that CH pinched doesn't appear that often. So what I used to do in order to teach it is to sing a song. It was a song developed by Edna's aunt, Mills. What's her name? And in Huna, are you sleeping? Chuk de ita. Chuk de ita. Are you still sleeping?
Chuk de ita.
Chuk de ita. She done day. She done day. And when you hear the word day, that means your mom's getting mad. So you better watch it. She done day is get up now. So Naye Shinda Ude. So put your clothes on now. And so it's really a fun song to learn, and we used to sing it in class, but I haven't been able to figure out how to do it on Zoom. So it's one of the students I had said he wanted to be called volleyball player, and a ball is called kuchita. Kuchita. That ball, that round thing you throwing something. You cheat it.
Kuchita.
Yeah. And I think those are the hard ones that'll be difficult for you is the pinched L and probably the CH. CH pinched is chalk, ego. So close your teeth on the CH, chalk, and the K is pinched too. So pinched letters means it has an apostrophe and you squeeze it in your mouth and you'll be successful. Are there any comments or questions on this? How much time is it?
It's 12:15.
Oh, yeah, still have a lot of time.
If folks have questions, you can unmute your mic and just ask, or type in the chat, or raise your hand.
What does kuch mean?
Which ate that's ball, right?
It's a ball, yeah. It's a ball that you throw around.
Like a
Good enough,
basketball.
Cheesh.
Yeah.
Basketball, volleyball. Usually the kind you pitch with your hands.
Mhm.
I don't know. In my mind, it kind of applies to those discs that you throw.
Mhm.
It might, with explanation, I guess you can apply that.
Mhm. Hmm. Like a frisbee kind of.
Frisbee, yeah, kind of.
Mm. Goodness, Cheese, for your question. Oh, I see one more in the chat. How do you tell someone to catch a ball? How would you say catch the ball?
Gashot. Catch it. Gashot. SHAAT.
Is it high tone? Gashot.
Yeah.
Do they have to say kuchait gashot?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. A couple more sounds I want to practice that we'll be using in our dialogue today are the a few of the underlined letters. And so consonants, when they're underlined, you pronounce them in the back of your mouth,
Back of your throat.
back of your throat. And so an underlined K, you can repeat after me. And you guys can unmute your mic so we can hear you.
I can do cough first and then move it to the back of it.
Oh yeah. So start with a K that you hear in English that's not underlined. K.
Ka.
Ka.
Say ka in English, ka, and then move it to the back of your throat, ta, and you got it.
Ka.
Yeah.
Ka.
Yep.
Ka.
Ka.
Underline
Ka.
sounds good. Underline KA is and.
And
You're counting, and you say 10 plus 1 is 11.
Mhm. Okay, the next one is underlined X, and this will sound kind of gravelly. I like to take a sip of my water or tea before I do it, but it'll sound like,
Like you're gargling.
yeah, like you're gargling. So everybody say,
Ka.
Ka.
Say hat.
Ha.
talking about me.
Hot. Hot.
Right.
Hot. Hot. Hot.
Oh, you want me to get it?
Yeah. Just check. All the phones are ringing.
So one of the words in our dialogue, you can repeat after me. Tin.
Kuchwatin.
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 Chochwatin.
Kuchwatin.
Hochwarten.
Kuchwatin.
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 Better drink your tea. So do you know what it means? It's from the line, Tatkehat Kuchwatin. I came yesterday. Kuchwatin is traveling, driving or flying or whatever boats could apply to a boat.
Kuchwatin.
Yeah. Oh, Skinner Claude, I see your hands raised.
I was wondering on kuchwatin. So the first part of this word sounds kuch, and then we go into wa, and then
Hua.
tin. Is that
There's
kuch,
an,
kuchwa?
yeah,
It all blends together then?
there's a
Kuchwa,
W there. Yeah,
kuchwatin.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good enough.
I tend to think of that sound as starting with the underlined X. Hua.
Because we could look at it, kuchwa, Ku, kuchwa, tin, kuchwatin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because the underline X has a W with it. That's one letter.
Ah, goodness, geez.
Yeah. So don't separate it.
Mhm.
It's not tin. It's tin.
Hua tin.
Kuch-
So there's a question in the chat. Would it be hard to show syllable breakout? And so if it's helpful for folks, I could do it below. Let's see. I think I would do it maybe color coded or slashes. I used to do this when I was in beginning. I would write on my notebook sometimes kind of slashes that would sort of help me, but I don't want to confuse you and make you think they're separate words because tin is one word. Tin. Tin. So yeah, make sure you have your water and tea nearby. Make sure you can make those gargly sounds. These underlined letters, it just helps to be hydrated. Last one I wanted to practice is the underlined G, and it appears in our dialogue. qiyatin. So everybody start with a G that you hear in English, just a g,
G,
g.
G.
Now move it to the back of your throat. Like when you hear say raven, when a raven is talking, you'll hear him use that. Ba.
Ah, ah,
Ka.
So now try the word qiyatin.
B.
Tin. Tin.
Qiyatin.
Giatin.
Qiyatin.
pay attend,
Qiyatin.
Giyatin. Giyatin. Giyatin.
Okay.
Everybody seems to be handling these letters really well that are pretty difficult. It just has to get in your brain and stay there. So it's kind of interesting that you can save that, put a save on it, and use it. One thing that was in my head was about my mother. She had Lingit was her first language, and English was her second language. And she had a massive stroke, and she totally forgot English, couldn't speak it, but didn't have any trouble, too much trouble with Lingit. And so I putting the challenge out that they need to study. I think the languages are compartment in compartments
Mhm.
that the Lingit doesn't mix too well with the English,
Mm.
and that they're two separate places. So it's really interesting to me that that we have to study the sounds that was so easy for us as we learned it, and can say it. I listened to Dr. Twitchell, Lance Twitchell, in this class, and I get so lost. He's talking about verbs and talking about all these different parts of the language, and I'm so lost. So when I speak, I don't study to see if I'm saying verbs or saying the right combination of words. I just do it. So it's, but I have learned that certain ways of thinking and certain different ways of pronunciation, and why it's so difficult for you as English speakers to learn this. And I, from what I hear, it sounds really good, you guys.
Mhm.
Sounds good.
Mhm.
You're doing good with what we're giving you. We're throwing to you. We're throwing all this to you really fast. So I hope we don't overwhelm you. But how far did you get with the knock knock?
So our last time we practiced the knock knock, we got to, we added the two lines, Yesuga siku shingit and skunkha dushtu.
So I hope you have that in your notes, because we're going to expect to hear that today as a continuation. And somebody asked for this to be color coded, and I think that's really a wonderful idea. Because then we know who speaks next.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah, that worked out good.
yeah.
So we don't be staring at each other.
So are there any questions or comments about the knock knock up to date?
I don't see any questions.
Hi, this is Lyanna Sani.
Hi,
Sorry,
Sani.
I'm using my granddaughter's computer because when I have my phone with the computer, I get too much back, sound effect. Could you repeat the two new lines one more time for me? And goodness cheese for everything that you're doing. Goodness cheese.
The first line is Yesuga siku ringgit. Can they hear you say it too?
Yesuke Siku Ringgit. Do you still know Ringgit? You still remember Ringgit?
And the second one is the answer. The other person will say, skun khadush tu. Can they hear you say that one too?
Yeah. Make sure you get that pinch text at the end of schoon. And the reason we add that to the word schoon is the place. Schoon, when you add the X, it shows where you're learning it. Schoon, too. Now they're teaching me at school. Schoon, too. There's a W on the end of that too. So make sure that you get your lips pursed around the last O. It's not a sound. Remember that. It's not a sound. It's just what you do with your lips. Skun khadush tu.
Skun khadush tu. It's 12:34. Do we have time to practice, show them the whole thing before we break
Yeah.
out?
Yeah, better do that.
Okay, we're gonna go in breakout rooms, but before we do, we'll demonstrate the full dialogue for you.
Knock knock.
Adu sawa
Chaksani ki kaya.
nishko. How hat qiyatin.
Tatkehat khwatin.
And then it's still you.
You.
Oh. Yesuga siku shingit.
Skun khadush tu.
Okay, I gotta change my color coding, guys. One sec. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna paste this in the chat. And if you need to, you can take a screenshot, take your notes,
Take a picture.
take a picture. And then we'll go, like we said, breakout rooms will be for 20 minutes this time, groups of up to 10. The two of us will try to visit as many rooms as possible. And you can practice the below dialogue. Any questions before we break you free? Yuhan, Sani Kik was just sharing some advice in our breakout room. And I just want to make space for her to finish that thought for everybody.
Yeah, the tendency is for English speakers to finish your phrase by having your voice go up on the end. And I remember that I told you that for children that talks about things they did as a family, and one of the phrases I always remember is, and we went to the zoo. So you tend to do something like that. Tatkehat Khwatin. It's actually Tatkehat Khwatin. Then there is phrases where your voice does go up. That time your voice goes up. Chadus two. It's not Chadus two. So start watching for that, because then it becomes a habit. It sounds like all your phrases are questions, and they're not.
So there's a difference between the high tone and making your inflection go up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do the same thing because I'm a second language learner as well. So I tend to over pronounce my high tones. And so it's good for us to remember too, as we kind of close the bridge to something more natural sounding, where we make that difference. We're not necessarily inflecting our voice, but it's still a high tone. Skunk chadosh too. Goodness, geez. Another thing, I know we're up on time, but I just wanted to say it was awesome visiting the breakout rooms and hearing folks work through the pronunciation. I saw people starting to say dul too, and then catching themselves and slowing down and saying dush too. So taking time with the sounds, letting yourself do it slower, so that over time we'll get more familiar. Okay.
Yeah, it's really common if you know another language to kind of fall back on that. And actually, it does help you to know another language, to learn. I think it also, after taking this class and you take language in school, it will help you in the way of thinking and speaking.
Okay. So continue to practice the knock-knock dialogue, continue to practice your self-introductions, and have an awesome rest of your day. Thank you for coming.
Cheese.
Cheese.
Time flies.
Cheers, 13.
Sudan, did you have a question?
Can I just ask really quick, if I wanted to say it's me and my son, would I say Shawat Kadan Ka Kegan Aya?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Okay. Goodness, geez.
Or you could say Shawat Gadon Uhanawa. You could say there are others with me.
Ka'uhanawa.
Kahuan away. Goodness, geez.
So then the the thing that you say is not Nate Cook, but Nathiat. Nathiat, all of you come in.
Okay. Joyce says she has a issue getting on the website. Hutchgun would, can she still reach out to Gail Cheney about that?
Gail.
Yes, that would be the one. Let me put her email in the chat really quick before I hang up the Zoom.
Okay.
Thank you. Gunnar Cheesh. Take a picture of it. Mhm. Can put it in.
Tuye e klasatin.
So yeah, Klasatin, yeah.
Please give me the. Here we go. Thank Gunnar Cheesh.
Jeez.
Got it. Gunnar Cheesh.
Like,
Nice picture.